beautiful music for us this evening. So without further ado, Malikah.
Bless you. You ready? Look at her. She's a bad man, just as fine as she can be. Hey, she's a bad man pajama, just as fine as she can be. Her body measurements are perfect in every dimension. She's got a figure that's shown up in attention. She's poetry in motion, beautiful sight to see. They get so excited viewing her anatomy. She's built, oh, she's stacked, got all the curves made like. She's built, oh, she's stacked, got all the curves made like. Look at her, she's bad and pajama. Oh, she's bad, just as fine as she can be. Hey, she's a bad man pajama, just as fine as she can be. Looks like she's poured into the gold. She's bad, essence of beauty. Ooh, such lovely hair. She's foxy classy, oh, sexy sassy. She's heavenly, a treat for the eye to see. She's built, oh, she's stacked, got all the curves made like. She's built, oh, she's stacked, got all the curves made like. Look at her, she's a bad man pajama. Yes, she is. She's a bad man pajama. Bad man pajama. She is poetry in motion. Her life exudes divine devotion and promotes innovative notions. She is built, she is sassy, sexy, foxy, classy. She got all the words that God likes. And the peeps get so excited hearing her analogies. Yes, indeed, she is built. The hand of the divine gave rise to her shine. Her altar is laced with venom and grace, oh yeah, destroying outdated dreams and giving rise to kings and queens, those who can lead with that heart-shaped herb that makes men stand firm in the decision to listen to real wisdom. She is bad, the kind of mind that channels the divine, the kind of heart that sparks inspiration, the kind of hand that leads to the promised land, the kind of soul that promotes your growth. Yes. She's bad. She is poetry in motion. Take hold of her vision, move with heavenly precision, and let your life be a blessing. She's bad. Dedication to the Holy Spirit, because she's a bad mama Jim in all of the ways that she works out. All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm just so pleased to have been asked to do this for this event. It is my sincere pleasure, any opportunity that I get to share, the gifts that I've been given, I feel honored and a privilege. And so thank each and every one of you for being here to receive of the gifts that I have to give. I appreciate you. All right, so we're going to jump into this book called Atonement. All right. How many of you got your copies? How many of you got your copies? All right. So, if you're interested in purchasing a copy, I did bring some this evening, and I'll give you the information from our website. We take credit card, we take Zelle, we take PAL, we take cash. Just let me know. All right. So, if you've had a moment through your book, and if you have any title that jumps out at you, let me know, and I will read that poem for you. In the meantime, let me give you a little bit of the background story for the book. So, you'll notice that it has two different sections. There's the Rise Up poetry section, which is a dedication to the activists. And then there's the Ascension poetry section, which is dedicated to the light workers. And those were two separate projects. And then the inspiration came and said, put them together and you have Atonement. And, right? And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Just thinking about activists, you know, and what they're walking through in this time in our society. And so there's a call in there for them to really look at it in a different way, in a way that leads to ascension, if you will. And so I'm going to read something from the Rise Up Project as well, and I'm going to pick something from the Ascension Poetry. So I see Jean is looking through the table of contents as well. Oh, and just to let you know, I have had the honor of receiving 5 5-star reviews for the book Atonement from independent reviewers, and so I'm really excited about that. I'm excited, and I'm going to read one of those as well. I think I'll start with that and then move on to the selection. So, and in honor of Women's History Month, which we are in for March, this Women's History Month, I am going to read the review I got. I got 4 men and 1 woman. So I'm going to read the one from the woman. Her name is Erin Nichole Cochran. She does reviews for Reader's Favorite. And this is what she wrote. Atonement. Rise Up in Ascension Poetry by Nubia The Doorway is a collection that is broken into several sections. The collection as a whole is brimming with a gamut of sources of life and power. In one section, the sound of the poetry comes across, to me at least, as a female version of the activist, poet, and American rapper, Common. I hear the words in a steady, rhythmic, gentle, soulful, soft rap of sorts. Nubia The Doorway's ability to connect the reader to the internal and external struggles that she and others have endured is like a bolt of lightning striking a tree. In other parts of Atonement, her poetic style carries with it a gravitas and revelational sense of what God gives to his people each day. The tones of voice are so unique, as though there are different people within her telling readers their stories and their journeys. We're going to come back to that, okay? Because she's saying a mouthful that I'm not even sure she knows she's saying, you know? Right. I love that. Nubia The Doorway's collection, Atonement, Rise Up in Ascension Poetry, includes photography as well, mostly Egyptian relics and monuments that infuse the book with another degree of depth altogether. Nubia The Doorway seems to be just that, a body that creates and holds within it a soul that helps one soul get to another place, as her work truly feels as though you yourself are stepping through doorways into other places and other journeys. 2 of the lines that spoke to me a lot were on page 146. Quote, "In this moment now, I just need your shoulder. The weight of the world is digging a groove in me." These words are just so powerful and incredibly relatable to all of us. If you are looking for your higher self, I suggest reading Atonement. Wow. Wow.
Well,
I don't know her. Yeah, independent reader.
That's awesome.
We've never met, so she knows nothing of me except for reading this book.
Wow.
And I think what I appreciate about it is that I feel she actually took the invitation that's at the beginning of the book and gave herself into the suggestions that I made, which allows one to have a different experience with the work. And so I love that.
Oh, that was so
Oh.
cool. Oh. Yeah, you gotta put
Read
that.
that one line again.
Which?
Yeah, read that one line again.
The line from the book or page 146?
Right before that, when Stephen was commenting, because it was right before.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Did it start Nubia The Doorway's collection, Atonement, Rise Up in Ascension poetry? It includes photography as well?
It was right before that.
Right before that. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, it was right before that, because I heard that.
The tones of voice are so unique, as though there are different people within her, telling readers their stories and their journeys. That part?
Yeah, read that again.
Read it one more time? Okay. Here we go. I'm going to read the whole thing one more time, okay? Atonement, Rise Up in Ascension Poetry by Nubia The Doorway is a collection that is broken into several sections. The collection as a whole is brimming with a gamut of sources of life and power. In one section, the sound of poetry comes across, to me at least, as a female version of the activist, poet, and American rapper Common. And also Grammy Award-winning rapper. I hear the words in a steady, rhythmic, gentle, soulful, soft rap of sorts. Nubia The Doorway's ability to connect the reader to the internal and external struggles that she and others have endured is like a bolt of lightning striking a tree. In other parts of Atonement, her poetic style carries with it a gravitas and revelational sense of what God gives to his people each day. The tones of voice are so unique, as though there are different people within her, telling readers their stories and their journeys. Nubia The Doorway's collection, Atonement, Rise Up in Ascension poetry, includes photography as well, mostly Egyptian relics and monuments that infuse the book with another degree of depth altogether. Nubia The Doorway seems to be just that, a body that creates and holds within it a soul that helps one soul get to another place, as her work truly feels as though you yourself are stepping through doorways into other places and other journeys. Two of the lines that spoke to me a lot were on page 146. In this moment now, I just need your shoulder. The weight of the world is digging a groove in me. These words are just so powerful and incredibly relatable to all of us. If you are looking for your higher self, I suggest reading Atonement.
So great.
That was online or something? Where was that review from?
Her name is Erin Nichole Cochran, and she does reviews for Reader's Favorite. And they're a service. They do a lot of different things in the writing world. So, but I don't know her. You know, we've never met. We've never had a conversation.
Yeah.
She selected, like, they submit the books to people who are versed in the particular field or genre that you say your book is. And so I selected Mind, Body, and Soul, and a second category was personal transformation. And so she selected the book and read it, and that's what she says, and I agree. So I'm gonna read the selection that line comes from, which is She Calls Me. But before I do, just to speak a little bit about something that she mentioned, Nubia. The name Nubia, the doorway. And as she said, it's as though there are many different people coming in, telling these stories. And she could feel that I was a doorway helping transport one from different dimensions. And when I was told to be called Nubia, the doorway, the name Nubia, first of all, because it's the cradle of civilization. It is the doorway for civilization. And then the doorway itself, when that part came, it was like, I was having a conversation with someone and they were like, there's a thing you do that just needs to be named, a title. What do you do? I said, well, I'm a doorway for energy to move from one dimension to the other. She said, that's it, just the doorway. And it was just like, oh, I could feel it, even when she said it, because I had never thought of a title for myself. But when we had that conversation, it was just like, yes, that's it. So I love that she tapped into that and put words to that expression as well. All right, so page 146, she calls me. And you want to know the funny thing?
I love how God works.
I was planning to read that and didn't even take notice of the connection between that she wrote about that piece.
Wow.
You know, but now as I stand here reveling in how synchronistic everything always is, like, oh, of course.
Right.
Thank you, Linda.
And when you're done with that, global matrix.
Oh, Stephen found one he wants to hear, the global matrix. All right, here we go. She calls me, written February 28th, 2006. I hear her calling to me. I hear her calling me. The divine feminine is what I have been seeking, beckoning me to come deep, summoning me. My sister calls to me, at times simply asking for me to hear her. In this moment now, I just need your shoulder. The weight of the world is digging a groove in me, but I knew that I could come to you and you would soothe me. The divine feminine, the essence of my being, the context to which I create and relate, the role that unfolds as I allow God to feed my soul. What does it mean to be a woman? I could assume another's identity, donning a suit, briefcase, and the masculine duty. However, that is not the role God chose as me. What does it mean to be a woman? First, a daughter. I am the daughter of the Most High. Seeds from the divine gave birth to my life. I am a mother. I bring forth life. Seeds from my divine go forth to bless and lay not strife. I am a sister, lifting as I climb. See, my success is your divine birthright. No one can do it alone. We are here to relate. So let us lay down the fight and release the hate. And I love my sisters. They represent me. From the lightest ray to the deepest root, within each one there is truth. That truth is calling. It desires to break free. It's all up in our dreams. And I hear her calling to me. The divine feminine is calling. Peace. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Stephen Vincent requested the Global Matrix. That is from the Rise Up. She calls me from the Ascension Poetry Project, and Global Matrix is from the Rise Up Project. And so I'll read that one next. It is an ode to Sydney, Australia. Do you remember what page it was on in the book, Stephen?
I can tell you.
Okay. And so I'll tell you, as Jean looks for the page number for me, I'll tell you a little bit about the process of writing the Global Matrix. I was visiting Sydney, Australia, and my naive parts thought that I was going to see something a little different than what I actually saw. And so being confronted with culture shock, being confronted with my naivete, this piece came out.
35.
Okay, so it's on page 35.
What year was that?
And the year that it was written, the Global Matrix, Ode to Sydney, was written April 24th through 26th in 2017. Not that long ago. Naive, I tell you. Yeah, and you know, sometimes this is a new thing for me. This wearing of the spectacles,
Welcome.
where sometimes I forget that they are helpful. So, yes, until I look at the page and go, oh, that's a little blurry. All right. Sleepwalking, shopping, bar hopping, the Western takeover ain't stopping. From 1770 to 2017, or was it 1492, when they set sail across the great wide blue, in search of meaning, the other side of the globe, juxtaposed, I suppose, geographically, but not philosophically. Metaphorically, it's all me. Literally, it moves as I breathe. Walking the land down under with awe, reverence, and wonder. Do you suppose? They act like they don't know. Which way did they go? Which way did they go? The Aboriginal in folklore. But in reality, the First Nation peeps can be seen all throughout the genealogy and pedigree. Hungry for meaning, searching for reasons, there has to be more than this. The global matrix with its inherent glitch. I feel like I can walk right on up out of this trip. Flip the switch and activate the lift as the energy shifts from Aussie town to the crowns of the round. Let's break ground. Anchored deep in the waves of form as we call forth a new norm, as ancient as the sands of the Sahara, as we transcend this desert. Holographic luxury with contrived reverie, posing as camaraderie and legacy without the depth with which the heart speaks. Let it be. I breathe new life in this moment now. I inhale, drawing up all that I previously revealed. Exhaling sustenance to feed this time collapse. Evolutionary gains in this land of disdain. As I move, the scene changes. Vision extends beyond the senses into sectionality of the dimensions. But there's static on the vine. From Bondi Beach to Circular Quay, the air we breathe is simply amazing as I stand gazing across the bridal trails leading to the place where the water swells and the aboriginal tales of the crossing of nails. The blue mountain speaks, directing me to walk where they lead. Ode to Sydney. Peace. Yes, thank you. I encourage you to, that piece has layers in it. It's like when you think about who owns Australia, or should I say who runs
Yes, right.
the political and governmental, because we know who owns all of it in truth, but who runs it, and the connection to America, and going over there and really looking at just the similarities between America and Australia. And when I think about colonized lands and colonized language, there was a part of me that really thought I was going to see some First Nation peoples when I went over there. But in order to see them, I had to go to special performances, like museum type performances. The same thing you gotta do here, And that's why I say my naivete, And it's like, then the voice said, let it be. You're tripping. Remember who you are. Look at how everything is actually moving, And so I was able to see it from a different way while still letting the historical truth remain what it was. So I invite you to, read through that piece and look at all the many different layers that it contains within it, for sure.
I have one.
Yes.
Voices of the Heart.
Ooh, okay. Thank you, Jean. Jean's requesting Voices of the Heart. What page is that on?
144.
It's on page 144 in Ascension Poetry. Do you know what section it's in?
What section? 6?
It's in
Oh, which section?
Earth, Water,
Yeah,
Fire.
Earth.
It's in Earth. So As you read Ascension poetry, you're going to notice that they have different sections. There's earth, there's water, there's fire, and there's ether, and there's air. Okay? And so you'll begin to see different connections in thinking about why a selection might have been chosen for a certain section. So Voices of the Heart in the Earth section of Ascension Poetry on page 144, written on
November 10, 2005.
November 10th, 2005. As you notice, I'm not picking it up to read it. Because you know I know this one. All right. Voices of the heart, igniting, sparking desires, heavenly sent, like a breath of fresh air, erasing every care, stepping out on a whim, if you dare. Can you get with this? An angel that has been sent as God's representative. The work I give, allowing you to know that God lives. My every action is to bring forth your satisfaction and delight in your reactions. The heavenly dance of the divine, hand in hand orchestrating ascension's plan, going far beyond the call of duty, scaling new heights. Watch out now, because this bird's in flight. Oh, you who believe, be ye still in the face of your divinity. I hear you say, oh God, grant me a healing. Deliver me unto the seeing. Do you not believe? It is of your own being. The power resides in you, abides in you, and provides for you. So be still and know the I am God at the heart of you. That breath you take, that love you make. The activity of God is you living. So listen with your heart. Peace.
Woo! Nice choice.
Nice choice, yes. I dare say they are all lovely choices.
Yes, of course.
So I'm going to read one last one. Or two. Two. What is the two? Which selection would you pick?
It's page 84, the Rams.
There's a poem called The Rams. I don't
there's
remember right
a
now.
woman. Wait. It's,
Oh, I have mine ready.
Yes.
there's no title, but there's a picture of the Rams.
Are there words on
It's
it?
the Ram's photo. It's a photo.
As I stand present and
So
engaged.
turn to the page turn to the page after it and tell me what the title says up there.
I love it, uplifting.
Uplifting, okay. What page?
86. So that'd be 85? 86.
86. Uplifting for 86? This is an auction.
This is touched on 88.
Touched on 88. Okay.
The same vicinity.
88 and 86. I'm going to read those. And then we will wrap up. I will tell you about a few other projects that I am blessed to be birthing forth. Yes, Linda.
3 is a better number to end on.
Listen.
What did she say?
She wants me to do 3 more.
Oh.
So I'm going to do touched, uplifting, and in the womb of Newt. And that's going to be it.
Oh,
Great.
yes.
Must.
Thank you.
All right.
Alhamdulillah.
All right. Page 86 and then 88. And then, Jean, will you tell me what page the womb of Newt is on?
Yes, give me a minute.
Uplifting. See, Sandra just got the book today, so she hasn't had time to read the invitation. And so there's a little piece in the invitation that will explain why she had to turn to the page after to find the title for that poem.
Because I did look before, which is
Yes.
You want me to tell you now? Page 139.
Okay, perfect. All right. Uplifting was written on February 26, 2010. I was looking for my information, walking into the space, vigilant for what the ego had to say, not acknowledging what I bring sets the tone. What else could it be, or what else could it possibly reflect? Thank you. The law is absolute.
Thank God.
All my protests and managing the mirror were basically moot. For not. I have so much appreciation for the game. My movement undeniably, reliably, and purely rests on my say. I am the image and likeness of God. Life, the eternal fire. I am that which infuses the thought to come and take shape. I am that thought through which all relates. This moment, an opportunity to contribute to ascension, an opportunity for furthering self-realization. This moment is all that there is, guaranteed to be extended as long as I live. My role as life, I am that which supplies. As I stand present and engaged, I offer the best and highest form of praise, that it may uplift this space and reveal God in the most magnificent way. This earthly experience, this human dress, as our picturing of consciousness. I did not read that correct. This earthly experience, this human dress, an out-picturing of consciousness. That which has already been said simply come forth to mirror what has been held in thought, allowing me the opportunity to choose a higher lot and participate in the resurrection and the fulfillment of self-realization. I'm not here to change what you say or how you play. That will change as God is revealed, and there is no other choice but to come forth healed. I am simply here to uplift this space as the energy is released from the first, second, and third forms of expression. We move through the fourth door and are redirected and invested in the fifth dimension. As I know who I am, know who you are, and I know what this is, I fulfill my function as I come forth to give and be the living access of a higher way to live. Peace. All right, this next one requested by, who did Touched? Linda did Touched. Uplifting was requested by Sandra Quiros.
And I love it, thank you.
You're welcome. And she'll notice that I read quite a few words differently than is written in the book.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I read quite a few words differently than what are written in the book.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the book?
Yeah. Touched, May 2nd, 2014. This one was written in Brazil. Who went to Brazil? Do you remember the bus ride? Our tour guide who was just so overcome.
Yeah.
This was written for her. I read it to her on the bus as well. She was so touched by our experience. The connection between particles of matter and waves of energy. The realization of oneness and intimacy. The experience of being open and moved internally. Touched. In the language of heart and soul. In the moment of release and letting go. In the essence of joy and amour. Impacted. Spilling over and filling up like Mount Vesuvius as it erupts. Expanding every cell and fiber of being, going far beyond third dimensional seeing. Appearing involuntary, yet stemming from choice, the decision to listen to one voice. Impressed. With a seal of approval from the depths of the soul, moving together in a harmonious flow, coming forward in knowledge of self and life, eternally bearing witness to the encounter, gratified, pleasing to the touch, inviting more love, satiating like a warm hug, heartened, balancing passive and active forces, tying the knot of thought and feeling, restoring the divine partnership, remembering, moved, an instrument for your embrace. Revealing together, relating, grace, soul stirring, touched. That's that piece.
Wow. That was such a moment.
Yeah,
Oh my
thank you
God.
for
when
reminding us,
When
yeah.
you said that moment,
Yeah.
I mean,
Maria was her name.
oh
Yeah.
my God,
Yeah, she
what
really
an
was.
angel.
But she was so moved, like crying,
Yeah.
just and didn't just. It's such a blessing. I mean, we
Yes.
everywhere,
Yeah.
I
but
didn't have,
it was
I was
huge.
having, I don't know why, this happens quite often,
Mhm.
problems with my phone to take pictures. And Melissa took a picture of her, that as soon as you said it, it's like, Melissa, I gotta get that picture.
Yeah,
But,
it's,
yeah,
she was so
she was so sweet, so sweet.
yeah.
In the womb of Newt,
139.
139. Okay.
Oh, before you go, like this poem is so nice that I find that it helps me sleep. I read this and let's just
A particular poem.
this one touched.
Touch.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
It's very sweet and soothing. I don't know. It seems to order my thoughts and I sleep.
What a great way to bring yourself into sleep. I can
Yeah.
see it.
Yes.
And-
So I've read that a few times.
And I have a treat for you. There's a video of Touched on YouTube. And so I'm going to send that to, if you all make sure I have your email, I can send you that video.
You can put the link on
of
WhatsApp.
Touched. If you all send me your email,
Oh.
I will send you the. yeah.
Reiterate.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
great. Then I can put it.
Yes, and just so for those who might be watching this replay on YouTube, Linda shared how she enjoys Touched and how it is soothing and helps relax her into a moment of restful sleep. So that's beautiful. And when you see the video, I think you'll enjoy it as well. Okay, so in the womb of Newt, we're going to conclude with this piece. It is on page 139. It was written March 25th, 2012. Put that over there. This was inspired by F.L.O.W.E.R.S, the temple F.L.O.W.E.R.S, in the chapel up on the walls, the womb of Newt. Out of the stillness and deep inside the silence, in the womb of Newt, the Catalan Goose deposits a seed.
a divine delivery. From ether to earth. What was one is now 9. And the 9 are still 1. Rays of the sun. Just listen. Creation has begun. Floating on the Nile, akin to the primordial sea, the quantum field is activated. Use me. I'll be the way. An instrument for your heart. Move solely by divine spark. Prepared over many lifetimes, all extending in this moment now. This is the point in consciousness where we evoke our vows. At the moment of conception, we were chosen as the way. An instrument for a time collapse and the start of a new day. So take my hand and ascend the crystal staircase to a brand new land. A 5th dimensional reality far beyond this state of duality is calling you now. So just shift your awareness and bring your full presence right here, right now. The code has been activated. The serum is rising, and out of the stillness and deep inside the silence, embraced within the wings of Isis, Hathor and Horus are united, and Osiris rises. Right through the instrument of your heart. Move solely by divine spark, meeting right in the middle and initiating art. The bells are ringing, Gabriel's horn is singing, the shepherd's crook is bringing the return of the flock. Just as the hands hit 12 o'clock, vision becomes a reality as we regain our full capacity and extend our vision on behalf of all humanity. So far beyond his story as we live the ancient mysteries. It's an auspicious life, indeed. Born for this purpose, determined to stay focused with the tenacity of Horus and the audacity of someone who knows this. Wearing the crown of Taurus and robed in the lotus. We evoke the morning and the evening sun. And in the womb of Nubia, the Catalan Goose deposits a seed. A divine delivery from ether to earth. What is one is now five. And the five are still one. An instrument that reflects the sun. Just listen. An ancient hymn has begun. That's that piece.
Wow.
Stephen's like,
That's the one.
I love that one.
I love that.
Oh, I love that one too. I definitely do. That one was inspired in Egypt, 2012. A couple of people, we were coming out of F.L.O.W.E.R.S, we were on an elevator, and someone made some comment, and it was like, in the womb of Nut, and it just rang in my head. I was like, that's a great one. In the womb of Nut, just like, whoa. And so it birthed that piece. So wow. It is my honor and privilege to have read for you this evening. I invite you to, if you don't have a copy, get a copy. If you have a copy, I invite you to read the invitation first and then have your way, do whatever you like. But it will ground you in the book making more sense if you read the invitation first. With that, I will open up for questions and answers. And then we'll go grab some mangoes that June brought. Sandra.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for reading Uplifting, because the last retreat that I was at, where we were all together in January a few years ago, the acronym was FUN, Feeling Uplifted Now. And so that stays with me so much.
Yes.
Throughout my day, because those are my intentions, is to be uplifted. So
Sweet.
Thank you. So I look forward to reading the invitation and then coming back and reading this.
Indeed.
The other thing